the virus is spreading faster than ever, but more people are getting sick enough to be hospitalized.
The coronavirus is so rampant in the metro, doctors say they can't keep up. And tonight, this threatens new restrictions to control the spread. I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. We're also hitting another high with the outbreak. Hospitalizations keep shooting higher. News 4's Alexis Sotos is examining where we are. She's at Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur tonight. Alexis?
Corey, Sam, I asked Mercy Hospital today if they are reaching a point where they might have to turn away COVID-19 patients. They tell me they're not there yet, and they really hope they don't get to that point. But right now, at the 22 area St. Louis hospitals, St. Louis region hospitals that make up the task force, they are treating a record number of patients for COVID-19. Take a look at the latest data released today by the Pandemic Task Force. Right now, 600 confirmed COVID-19 patients are being treated at area hospitals for their symptoms. That's an increase of 50 since yesterday. Add to that another 150 patients with suspected COVID-19, and these are the highest number of patients ever to be treated with COVID-19. And it's why Dr. Garza and the health departments are urging everyone to be vigilant.
Our concern is that without significant progress, we as a community will have to make some recommendations to try and slow down the spread. This is not the time to ignore the proven measures we know that help control the virus and allow businesses to stay open.
So Dr. Garza says, look, he understands that we are all feeling fatigued by the pandemic, that you might be tired of hearing those same messages of wear a mask, social distance, but this pandemic and this virus are not over, and they are still very much a threat to our community. Now, speaking of these high hospitalization numbers, I did reach out to the Missouri Health Department today to find out if we might need to use an overflow hospital like we saw earlier this spring when a North County hotel was converted for hospital patients. Right now, we're waiting to get an update from the state health department if that is something we might see used again in the coming months. Corey?
And Alexis, today, St. Louis County Executive Dr. Sam Page pointed to gatherings, including Halloween parties, as driving several new coronavirus outbreaks.
That's right. He specifically talked about a party that was hosted by a DeSmet high school student that saw, according to the county executive, around 200 people. And that party has been connected to at least 5 new positive cases of other students. So they are really talking about how important it is to keep those gatherings to a minimum, especially as college kids are going to make their way back home here in the coming weeks. He says that it is important to remember that while young people might not be hospitalized as the same rate as older adults, they still pose a risk to the people in their community, including their elderly family members.
It's sort of a rite of passage, with kids coming home from schools that they want to get together with their old friends. And I guess, my thoughts on that are, this is a different year. And as much as we would, love to see our old friends and have, large gatherings, large family gatherings, things like that, we can't afford to do it this year. And, there's certain times in your life where you have to make sacrifices for the better of the community. And this is one of those.
Speaking of the community, the St. Louis community specifically, a viewer question I got today that I wanted to answer for you all is how many of the patients being treated at St. Louis area hospitals are coming from outside of St. Louis? We understand that rural patients are being transferred here. Today, Dr. Garza tells me it's about 15% of the patients being treated at St. Louis area hospitals that are from outside of the St. Louis region. The rest, though, are coming from our communities. Reporting live, Alexis Sotos, News 4.